Now we are going to solve the problem B of Codeforces round 758 D1 plus D2. So problem says that you are given three integers A and B. Determine if there exists a permutation P1 to Pn of integers from 1 to n such that there are exactly A integers. Okay. Um, I with I from 2 to n minus 1 such that P of I is greater than equal P of I minus 1 and also greater than equal P of I plus 1. In other words, there are exactly A local maximums and there are exactly B integers I with such that I integers such that there are exactly B local minimums like P of I minus 1 is greater than P of I as well as P of I plus 1 is greater than P of I. Such permutation exists, find any such permutation. Okay. First round of each test case contains a single integer, the number of test cases, the description of the test case follows. The only line of each test case contains three integer in A and B in it from up to 2 to 10 to the power 5, A and B from 0 to less than equal 1, and the sum of in overall test case does not exist 10 to the power 5. For each test case, if there is no permutation such that requested properties, okay, with the requested properties, output minus 1. Otherwise, print the permutation that you have found. If there are several such permutation, you may print any of them. So here it is says that simply we are given n equal to some values, suppose 5, and has a permutation. Permutation means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is the array of size in and the value present in it starting from 1 to the nth value. Okay, so this is a permutation, and we are given an value a equal to some sort of values and a value b. Okay, like here if it is given a equal to 1, b equal to 1, it means there is one value in it. Okay, there is one value in from this 5 value. Suppose this is that one value and this value will be greater. A means the greater values. Okay, a should be greater than this value, also this value, exactly this one value, and a value like this value y should be lesser than this value as well as the previous value. Okay, so this is also y, so this is b, exactly one value lesser and exactly one value greater. You have to just build this permutation. If it is not possible, then you can just print minus 1. Okay, so now let's break down the test cases. These are the test cases. So in the first test case, we are given test case 1. We are given n equal to 4, comma a equal to 1, comma b equal to 1. Okay, from means the value is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to just build a permutation such that the maximum value, the value which is maximum then its previous and the next value is 1, exactly 1, and the value which is minimum and its previous and the next value is exactly 1. So what is the solution for this? So this is the solution. Like the output will be for this test case this. This is the output. Like if we observe here, P is maximum greater than this, P is greater than this value as well as greater than this value, and 2 is less than the previous value as well as the next value. No other value here is greater or minimum than its previous value and the next value. So this condition satisfied. So this is the output for this particular input. So now here the question comes up that if here the question comes up that if how can we find the answer? Okay, so here is a clear observation that um, if we want to, like here in you can see that if we want to find if we want to find an element, okay, if you want to find an element which is greater than the previous and the next one, okay, it means 4. If we have to find 4 which is greater than the previous and the next one, we should have the previous value which is smaller than this, the next value which is also smaller than this, okay. This means we are getting a maximum value, okay, and we are also taking a minimum value. For that we also having a minimum value as well as the next greater value than this, okay. So 3. So this is also a possible answer. One maximum value, one minimum value. So for this, like if we want to find a maximum value, okay, there will be one difference, okay, there will be like a minus b will, if there is answer exist, there will a minus b, there always will be less than equal 1, okay, if their answer exists, like here, like the absolute value of a minus b, like if there is 2 greater value and 3 minimum values, okay, and n equal to 7, 2 greater values like 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, 2 greater values, like this value is greater and this value is greater, and we have to now just find 3 minimum values. This should be minimum, this should be minimum, and this should be minimum, okay. So like to find, for finding 2 greater values, okay, we should always find at least one minimum values, isn't it? So if we finding 2 greater values, then b will be at least 1 and maximum will be 3. Like this 2 greater values, we are finding this minimum, this greater value, we are finding this minimum, as well as this is also a greater value, okay. Suppose this is also a greater value and this is the minimum and this is a greater value or minimum value. So for finding 1 2 3 greater values, you always have two minimum values to make the three values greater, okay, at least two minimum values. So these are the condition, like all this is proof that this, if you like clearly observe, if you clearly observe or like analyze through the test cases or make customized test case for yourself, you can observe that a will be a minus b will be always less than equal 1. Like it is not possible, like if you want to take four maximum values like 1 2 3 4, okay, you have to make this values maximum, okay, like this value maximum, this value maximum, this value maximum, this value maximum. For making this value maximum, you should always have two minimum values between this. Okay, if the last two values is not minimum, like if we ignore this minimum value is always be minimum because this is less than this value as well as this value. So this is becoming maximum. Okay. Okay. So this value is also less than this value as well as this value. So for that, this is becoming maximum. This will eventually become the minimum. So for finding three maximum values, we should always get at least two minimum. So for making four maximum values, minimum value will be three at least. Okay. It is not possible for to get four maximum values with one minimum value. It is not possible because for making the maximum, we should in between the maximum we should insert the minimum values. Okay, to getting four maximum values, at least three minimum values. Okay, so the difference between the maximum and minimum will always be one, not greater than one. So hope you understand this case. And there are also some sort of case like if we have six values. Okay, we have six values and we are asking to take three maximum and two minimum. The difference between this A and B is less than equal one. Okay, it is fair. No problem is here. But suppose, just think this last value of the permutation. Sorry, first value of the and the last value of this permutation can never be maximum or minimum because no other value is uh, left after this value and no other value left before this value. Okay, this is empty. This is empty. So the first value and the last value can never be maximum or minimum. After that, we are just having some space, sort of space. Okay, as it should be true that a minus b less than equal 1 as well as enough space should left in between this to make this condition true. Okay, so like 3 maximum plus 2 minimum becomes 5 values, so there is no enough space to insert 5 values in between. Okay, so here is 4 space left, so for that case also there is no possible answer. Okay, so these are the two cases. For that the answer will be -1 and we can directly just print -1. Okay, and now let's just observe how can we make if a and b is not less than not greater than 1 as well as the inner space also left in between the first value and the last value to making that permutation possible. How can we just get our permutation? If we observe clearly through the test cases, like let's take the test cases. Here in the test cases we are given 4 1 and 1. So the difference between the first test case, the difference between a and b is less than equal 1, so it is possible. And n equal to 4, like the values are 1 to 4. So how can we just get maximum value and the minimum value? Like if maximum and minimum are same. Okay, like let's analyze this later. Okay, before it, let's talk about the second test case. That the concept will be very clear for after explaining this test case. A equal to 1 and b equal to 2. So the difference between a and 1 is not greater than 1. Okay, so the values are 1 2 3 4 5 6. How can you just get one maximum and two minimum? Okay, if like if we have, this is the intuition, this is the solution through my observation. If we have a is minimum is lesser than b, then we can start with a maximum value. Okay, we can start with a maximum value. So the maximum is 6. We can write down maximum value 6. Then we can just start maximum value and write down a minimum value. Okay, minimum. And after that we can just write down the next maximum. Next maximum is 5. Then and then the next minimum is 2. And after this writing 2, just we just track that how much minimum we have right here. We have write 2 minimum values. Okay. After writing 2 minimum values, we can just directly write the next values from here. Okay, from minimum to maximum. Uh, yeah, minimum value. Then you can just write 1. Sorry, just write 3 and 4 here. Okay, the left values which are left. After writing this 4 value, which values are left, we can just write simply after this. So here you can see, friend, our permutation is made it like here is the minimum value, 1 minimum, 2 minimum, and there is a 1 maximum values. Okay, 5 is the only maximum value, and 3 and 4, 4 is also discarded. 6 will also not be counted as a value because there is no value left before it, and there is no value left after it. And 3 is not also a minimum or maximum because the left value is lesser and the right value is bigger. Okay, so we just simply get our answer. Okay, and if we take the third test case, okay, take the third test case. Third test case is given 6 equals to sorry, n equals to 6, comma equals to 4, comma b equals to 0. The difference between a and b is greater than a minus b is greater than 1. So you can just simply just print the answer. Answer will be here -1. Okay, you can just directly print -1 here. And if, like, suppose we have like, let's make a customized test case here. Like we have n equals to 8. Okay, and equals to, like, now we will get a will be bigger than b. Okay, a equal to 3 and b equal to 2. So a minus b is not greater than 1. Okay, so this is also satisfied. After that, we'll just directly create our permutation n equal to 1 from 1 to 8, 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, here the minimum value is b is lesser than a. Okay, so now in this case we will start from the minimum value, the minimum, and then write the maximum value and making the track that how many maximum are written in this. Okay, so this is the first maximum 8, then the minimum value, then the second maximum 7, then the minimum value 3, and the third maximum 6. After writing the third maximum value, like we wanted 3 maximum values, and this is the third maximum value. After that we can just write the rest of the uh, sequence, like here from maximum to minimum. Okay, from maximum to minimum, like after 6 there are value left 5, then after 4, then no other values left. Okay, then we can just simply find out that our answer, we get at our answer like 3 maximum values. So 8 is the maximum value, 7 is the maximum value, 6 is the maximum value, and 2 minimum values. So this is the minimum value and this is also the minimum value. So for that, so like that we can just get our answer. And if we are having both with same values, okay, then we can also implement this for a equal to b. Okay, We will just check if equal to a equal to b or not. Sorry, a greater than equal b or not. If it is, then we can just simply implement this implementation. Then if it is not, if b is greater, then we can just implement it. If a is greater, we can start with the minimum value. If a is lesser, then we can start with the maximum value. Then we can just track the maximum value. How many, if a is greater, then we can just track how many maximum values written in our solution. Okay, if the three maximum values are written, then we can just print the rest of the values starting from the maximum value to the minimum value. Okay, and if a is lesser, then we can start from the maximum value and just track the how many minimum values are written on our answer. Okay, if the given minimum values are written, then we can just start print the rest of the values starting from the minimum to maximum values. This is the solution. Let's see the code. Like here, first of all, I just check that abs of a minus b greater than 1. If it is 1, or a plus b is greater than a minus 2, then our answer will be minus 1, and we are just directly returning from here. And we are just taking two values, minimum and the maximum values, and just taking the counter, the maximum by a comma b. Like I just said that if b is greater, then a is lesser, it means b is greater, then we can just track how many minimum values are written as well, and starting from the maximum values. Okay, so here I just make that the maximum I just taking from here and just taking a is greater than equal b or not. If a is greater, and just tracking the counter, a is greater, it means b is lesser, then we are just starting from the minimum value. Okay, and incrementing the minimum value, and then pushing the maximum value and decrementing the maximum value from left to right. Okay, and just subtracting the counter, like the tracking that how many maximum value we are written in our answer. After that, if counter is 0 becomes 0, and we're just breaking. And if a equal b, we can just start from minimum to maximum and just push our answer I. If not, then we can just starting from the maximum, the rest of the values starting from the maximum to minimum, we can push in our answer. After that, we can just simply output our answer. So this is the case for a greater than equal b. E is if b greater than a. Okay, then we can just start from the maximum value and just track the how many minimum values are pushed in the vector if counter becomes 0, as the minimal as the b is greater than a. So counter will be the b, because we're just taking maximum of a comma b. Okay, so after the b minimum values, the counter will be 0, and we will break from here, and from starting from the minimum to maximum, we can just print the rest of the values uh, which is not used in our permutation. After that, we can just write our answer, like print our answer. So this is the solution for this problem. Hope you all understand.